I'm Waffles. How's it hanging? I hope it's hanging pretty cool. So I'm 19 and I moved to Florida during the pandemic. All right. And we moved to Florida and we're from Cali. So it's a little bit of a difference. But it's interesting, you know. I just haven't yet made many friends here. And I'm sure a lot of you who have moved during the pandemic definitely feel like a little bit of like a sense of loneliness, emptiness, depression. Well, you know, it is what it is. But I thought, you know, I found out some tips that seem to have been working for me lately. And I thought I'd share it with y'all. So look at me saying y'all. I'm starting to fit in. Woo! But yeah, I thought I could share some ways to make friends because, you know, it's hard. And sometimes it's also nice to know that other people are struggling with this. It's not just you. Look at that. Alrighty, so step 1. Uno. You've gotta communicate with them. I'm gonna share with my little friend here how you communicate with someone. You can go up to them and say, hey, I'm Waffles. What's your name? Because then they are forced to respond because society deems it rude to ignore someone straight up. So most likely they'll respond. And then if they don't, well, they're just kind of, they're a jerk and you don't want to talk to them anyway. There's also, you know, things that you can notice, like, I like your choker. I also have a choker. And that is a opening, like, of a conversation, kind of. So you're able to, like, socialize with that person, get to know them a little bit. Opposed to, you know, staring at them longingly. Like, he's over here and you're just... Because that would be awkward. That was a wheeze. But yeah, so that is one, like, or technically 2 ways. You know, first, introduce yourself, name. Second, comment on what they're wearing. And honestly, you're going to feel awkward. We're all awkward. We've been, like, locked up forever. It's a freaking pandemic, guys. So, like, don't worry about being awkward. It's completely normal, you know? I mean, every time I see someone, like, around my age, well, another issue, I can't tell people's ages, so I'm just like, should I talk to you or should I not? And I also don't want to, you know, there's that added stress because you don't want to scare someone because you don't want to walk up to them and, like, scare them because, you know, there is a pandemic and you want to be safe. But you can still interact. Don't let that be an excuse not to talk to people. Because it is important to have those interactions, and you can have them safely as long as you're wearing a mask or, you know, you're 6 feet apart or so. You could still have the safely interactions, and it's important because ultimately, most important health is your mental one, because without your mental health, you can't really do much of anything. But yeah, so those are, like, 2 things that have worked for me. I don't have a lot, and you can always WikiHow it. And I'm here for some emotional support, you know, saying you can do it. You can do it. Yes, you. Individually, you. One person who'd watch this video. You could do it. Yeah. Pretty soon, you'll have friends in no time. All right. And it's baby steps. Ultimately, another thing that helps with, like, social interaction for someone who's awkward as shit is to know that you just need one person to talk to you. Really, realistically, you need one friend right now, right? So as long as you can do that, you'll be able to be friends with their friends and leech off them forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So yeah, you think small, baby steps, and you can always, don't be afraid to give someone your number and be like, hey, I'm socially awkward and I'm trying to make friends or meet people around here. That actually surprisingly worked. It takes up a lot of courage, but once you're able to do it, it's like all worth it. So if you can work up that courage, which I believe you can, if I could do it, if this could do it, you can do. So I hope you guys make some friends, and if any of this works for you, feel free to subscribe. I'm gonna try to make some interesting content. It'll be all over the spectrum, but I just trying to be more creative and put myself out there, because we are not alone, and no one deserves to feel alone. So you got this.